Hey there, Skullheads. I'm Snags.
And I'm old Silky.
I guess I'm Royale with cheese.
We
Nice.
got Royale with cheese on us. This cat was on our mega. He endured our 2.5 hour Quentin Tarantino episode, um, and contributed a shitload. But he's a Burt Reynolds expert. So tonight
We're
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 gonna be
actually we're actually talking to a cast member of
Sort of.
Sharky's Machine.
a cutting room
So
floor. Yeah, he was
yeah,
I'm cutting
cut
room
from the
floor, but I
movie.
have proof.
yeah, yeah.
Proof.
He's got his
There it
pictures
is.
when he was in 4th grade. He ended up and he'll tell that story once we get into the
Yeah.
podcast. That's a little teaser for you.
Yeah. Um, but today's Ozzy's birthday, first posthumous birthday, born in 48.
77, right? He would have been
Yeah, or
77.
yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
So who else you were gonna
Oh,
say
Steve Cropper from Booker T and the MGs and the Blues Brothers
yeah.
band, a legendary R&B guitarist, kicked the bucket today or recently
Rubber
anyways.
biscuit.
Yep.
Rubber Biscuit. Yeah, that's right.
Steve Cropper is now jamming with Lemmy in Hell.
That's
So
In hell.
swigging back the whiskey.
yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
Uh yeah, the one thing I before we get into tonight's show, episode 124, Burt Reynolds, um uh s- old Royale with cheese was all over Europe recently, and he's got a kind of a nightmare story for us.
Oh, tell
You
us
want
the nightmare story.
to
All
go
right.
into that?
So I spent 2 nights in Rome, and they were amazing. And then I spent 2 nights on the coast of Naples, amazing. And then I went back to Rome for one more night because oh, went
Just
back to Rome for
keep
one more
talking.
night because the ride was way cheaper to go from Rome to Venice than go from Naples to Venice. So I went back to Rome, which I liked Rome, so it was okay. So I get to Venice and I have this really cool fucking apartment in Venice. And I'm out and listen, I drink a lot of whiskey. I'm good with the whiskey. It doesn't bother me. I could drink all night and I'm fine. I got 2 in, all of a sudden I started getting the wah, 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 wah. And I'm like, what is going on?
Somebody
And
slipped
so I
you a
went and sat
Mickey.
down in a chair and I'm like, I'm getting messed up. Something has happened. And then I told this guy sitting next to me, I'm like, are you hearing the shit that I'm hearing? And he's like, no. And I'm like, all right, I've been roofied.
Yeah.
Not to get me in my butt, I don't think, but I think somebody was trying to rob me. So I was
Yeah.
like, get back to the apartment, get back to the Airbnb. And so I used my Google Maps on my phone and I couldn't figure it out. I was so messed up. I couldn't figure it
Yes.
out. And so I fell and you can see the little spot on my elbow.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's healing up now, but I fell and these 2 people coming towards me in this little alleyway are like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" I'm like, "No, I'm not okay. I've been roofied. I think they're trying to rob me." And they're like, "Well, we're gonna help you back." They took my phone and they got me back to the apartment. And then I just passed out on the bed, and then I woke up the next morning and I bled all over the white sheets and everything, which the good thing is that this particular Airbnb had washer and dryer, so I got everything clean and everything was perfect. And I had about 3 hours of the next morning that were terrible because I felt like ass. But yeah, somebody roofied me and tried to rob me. Cheers, they didn't get shit.
Yeah.
Nice.
Just a scary, episode in Europe. You got to watch your ass. Um, you have these master pocket pickers and whatnot
I got
scamming you.
I got a story along those lines. We went to Barcelona about 10 years ago, and everybody from you get to the airport, the cab, checking in at the hotel, they're always warning the tourists, watch out for the pickpockets, and it's the gypsies.
Yeah.
The gypsies in Europe are huge pickpockets, and so we would carry our money in our socks. And this dude comes flying past us on a 10-speed bike. He's probably going 20 miles an hour, and his hand was in and out of my jacket pocket in like half a second. Nothing there.
I mean,
And
it's crazy.
That's nuts,
I
dude.
mean, I had a wallet that had everything that was attached to my, my belt buckle, and it was in my pocket. That wasn't the problem. The problem was they wanted to knock me out and rob me,
yeah, that's fucked
or they
up.
wanted my butt. I'm guessing they wanted to rob me. I'm in my 50s. So.
Yeah. Or you'd maybe a series of movies. You know,
Well, they could have harvested your organs for
yeah,
the black market.
Oh, there's that. I didn't think about
Get
yeah,
that.
some of those
Well, they
50-year-old
don't want my liver.
no,
50-year-old organs. Um,
yeah,
that we're on the train coming back from we went to see FC Barcelona play. We're coming back from the soccer game on the train, and at one of the stations, this woman's got a little carry-on luggage on wheels and a handle. And right as the doors are closing, some gypsy runs up and snatches it from her, yanks it right out of her hands, out of the
god
train,
damn,
doors close.
It doesn't surprise me.
She's
that's
just
amazing.
crying the whole way after that. It was
Oh,
messed
that
up.
sucks.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, let's get rocking on Burton Leon Reynolds. Born in February of 36. He passed away. We lost him in September 6th, 2018. Um,
Is it
and
18?
yeah, 18. Yeah.
God, it seems less than that.
Yeah. He was married to Judy Carney, who was a real spinner on Laugh-In. If you remember, she had the real short hair. Um, and then in the late 80s, he married Lonnie Anderson.
But that wasn't the love of his life.
No, definitely Sally Field.
No, Dinah Shore.
And sure, yeah, 70 to 70,
Dinah
71 to
Shore was the love
75.
of his life. That's what he said.
Yeah. Uh, she was a vixen, boy. She was doing her own thing, Dinah. Um, I do hear though, she could clear a room with a beer fart. That was a big one of her party tricks.
I think it says that on her Hollywood Walk of Fame star, could clear a room with a beer fart.
Can clear
Yeah,
a
it's
room with a
If I'm
beer
not
fart.
mistaken.
nasty.
Yeah.
She could really peel one off. But
Yeah.
anyway, so Bert, childhood in Riviera Beach near West Palm Beach. Um, in high school, he lettered in football and track, all-state fullback in 53. He would eventually play at FSU for Coach Tom Nugent. During his football career, he had a torn cartilage in his right knee. And at 19, he collided with a stalled truck, massive internal injuries, car accident. He would come back and play football for another year, but he just got into acting in junior college. Um, so he's in New York in this Hyde Park Playhouse Theater where he meets Joanne Woodward, who helps him find an agent. And then,
That's Paul Newman's wife.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Now she says in an interview that he was just this shy kid and you just wanted to help him. He just had that uh, mystique about him that you wanted to help the guy out. And so she got him in touch with somebody. And then, so late 50s, he's in like Twilight Zone episodes, um, different, short-lived things. He was in Gunsmoke for a couple of years, where he played Quint Asper, the blacksmith on Gunsmoke. Notable show was Dan August, 26 episodes, 1970, and his partner was Mr. Roper, Norman Fell. So that's kind of
So was this like a cop show?
yeah,
And the partner cop was Mr. Roper. That's
Yeah,
hilarious.
yeah. And you can they have if you type in Burt Reynolds on like Prime, there's a Dan August movie that combines two random episodes and they just link them together. Uh, which is kind of weird, but they did that, and that was released in like 1980, and that's when I saw it actually, like on HBO or something, and I thought it was new in 1980, but it was an old show. So, um, and then he bizarrely, I don't think you could do this again. Is he starts just a series of um, talk show appearances where he's like the most unknown known, "Hey, it's El Condor."
It's
El
a
Condor in the
lady.
house. What's
What's
happening? What's happening, El Condor?
At Silky.com, we got shirts, we got action figures, we got anything you name it.
and Burt Reynolds is a god.
Burt Reynolds is again.
There you go.
There you
Thank you,
go.
sir.
And
El
now
Condor.
everybody's gonna rush to the website.
Yeah.
If we didn't have that guy, we wouldn't be raking in
No.
millions off of the T-shirts we sell on the website.
Snagsandsilky.com, everybody.
Yeah.
But anyway, so back to Burt Reynolds. He was doing like um Phil Donahue, The Tonight Show, obviously Dinah Shore show. He would just come
He
on
was
as a guest.
he was doing more than her show though.
Right. But
Doing
he would
Dinah.
Yeah.
he would come on as a guest
Like, he should have
and
had a show called Doing Dinah.
doing
Doing
Dinah.
Dinah. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, Evil Knievel was on Dinah Shore, and she basically sits in his lap, and you're like, oh yeah, he's gonna give her the business.
Sounds
He's
like
gonna jump her canyon.
she was a
He's
village
gonna jump
bicycle there.
her canyon.
Yeah, buddy. Um, he's he's gonna take her to Snake River.
There you go.
But anyway, so Reynolds does all these talk shows and just becomes a well-known unknown. And they even wanted to offer him his own talk show, and he wisely said, "No, I want to continue pursuing acting." And then obviously his uh, breakthrough role. I mean, he did Navajo Joe and 100 Rifles with Raquel Welch and Jim Brown, but his breakthrough role was as Lewis Medlock in Deliverance,
That definitely was his breakthrough role. Yeah.
and that was huge. I recall, if I'm not mistaken, I recall renting Deliverance in high school, and you know the famous scene you had heard about a million times, but I had never seen the movie, and Snags and I uh, get this back to the house and start watching it, and you know at first we're laughing like, oh, when's this scene gonna happen? And by the time we're well into the movie and that scene happens, I remember you could have heard a pin drop. We were so horrified. Uh,
They really did the spooky inbred
That was the Ned
deranged
Beatty scene, right?
yeah,
yeah,
squeal
yeah,
like a pig, yeah. But
yeah.
they did that. I think one of those guys was a real actor of the rednecks, and the other two were actual just rednecks
Oh,
that they
wow.
and
That they grabbed.
yeah.
Yeah, that
And
was what's his name's father. Uh, Crispin Glover's father.
Crispin
Bruce
Glover.
Glover? Bruce Glover?
Bruce Glover is the one that
Oh.
says you got a purty mouth, boy.
Yeah, and then the other two were just random
extras.
rural rednecks from that area. And, you know, I mean, that's and living in Atlanta, there's a saying, you know, what's the fastest way to Alabama? 100 miles in any direction. And it's pretty much true. I mean, you get into the rural, it can get pretty fucking spooky out there. And they captured
Lots of
that shit.
Waffle Houses.
Lots of
Yeah.
Waffle Houses, yeah.
They captured that shit hardcore. I mean, it was
Yeah.
very effectively uh
Yeah,
Maybe.
that's just crazy. But I remember that scene just by the end, and by the time Bert comes in and with the arrows and
Yeah.
I mean, it was so over the top dramatic that I feel like at the beginning of the movie, the other characters were the stars, and
Yeah.
by the end of the movie, Burt Reynolds was the star. You
Yeah.
know?
But you're
And his
right.
little
We
sleek leather vest.
Yeah, yeah,
we think we're gonna be laughing, and
yeah.
when it finally comes around, we're like, "Holy shit, I am never leaving the city limits
Yeah,
ever again."
yeah, yeah, I remember just being, like, completely that was like a whole, sub-level of sickness, you know?
Yeah.
Uh, that was
Great fucking movie.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, really good movie, so that was 1972, I think, Deliverance, and then, notably, White Lightning the next year, 1973,
That's a good one
as
too.
Gator McCluskey.
Gator and White Lightning are both great movies.
Yeah, White Lightning was first, and, just your typical '70s, running from the cops. There was just a slew of movies in the '70s where, the cops were the bad guys. Um Similar to, Charlie Chaplin's, era where, the Keystone Cops, they were just bumbling idiots, and then so in the '70s, you got all these cars, rolling over each other, and I mean, even in, To Live and Let Die, the cops were kinda bumbling idiots, you know?
To me, bumbling idiot, the cops are the Blues Brothers.
Well, there you go.
Where all those cops just got
Oh,
their
yeah.
cars destroyed, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but it was a running theme throughout the '70s, all the trucker movies, BJ and the Bear, Lobo,
No, it's BJ and his best friend, Bear.
yes, or the 7
Before
Lady Truckers.
before they yeah, when the ratings dropped, they changed it to BJ and the Seven Lady Truckers, yeah.
Did they
Oh
really?
oh,
Yeah,
yeah, I was
It was
for
always
about, like
BJ and the Bear.
yeah,
no,
but
no,
there was a
but
spinoff, I think.
at the very end, when the ratings dropped, they changed it to BJ and the Seven Lady Truckers, and they replaced the chimp with, like, 7 hot women that rode in the back of the truck. It was
Ugh,
ridiculous. Look it up.
So
It's
it
dumb.
was a trafficking, sitcom at
yeah,
that
right, it's a trafficking, comedy.
case. But yeah, Claude Akins would do another several trucker type shows. So it was quite the thing in the '70s. Then after White Lightning, The Longest Yard, which was just a badass movie,
Great
Yeah.
movie.
great movie.
There's also one right before Deliverance called Fuzz. Is that
Yeah, that's good.
yeah, that one's really good. That's kind of a deep cut movie, but it's,
Yeah, that's on Prime. You
yeah.
can catch that.
I highly recommend Fuzz. Seamus is another one,
Yeah, I like that
wh
one.
which is good. But, yeah, Longest Yard I'm sorry, I interrupted you. I just wanted to give those 2 their
No,
due.
The Longest Yard would be so good that, Adam Sandler would come back, remake it. I believe Burt Reynolds is in that remake as well.
Briefly.
Yeah, yeah. Um, but The Longest Yard, I love that movie. I always put The Longest Yard with, that Jeff Bridges and Clint Eastwood movie, that they did together.
Thunderbolt and Lightfoot?
Yeah,
Is that what it
yeah,
was? Yeah.
I maybe I saw them both, at the drive-in or as a little kid, but those 2 just, go hand in hand. Just great '70s, uh, movies. Any comments on Longest Yard or White Lightning?
No.
No?
Um, I
Um,
I don't remember if it was White Lightning or Gator where he's, zipping around the swamp wearing his Atlanta Falcons cap, but I just remember that whole swamp sequence was really cool.
I wanna say that's
With him zipping
Gator.
I think
probably
that's
Gator,
Gator, yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
which that came out in '76, so that was a few
Yeah.
years later.
It's the same same character though, but,
Yeah.
no, I just liked both of those. I feel like that's him really, really, like, Deliverance was John Borman's vision, right?
Right.
And Burt Reynolds was a perfect casting for that role, but I feel like with White Lightning and Gator, he's starting to kinda find his voice. These projects are more reflecting him and what he's gonna eventually do, with
Right.
Smokey and the Bandit and Sharky's Machine and stuff like that. It's more of these Burt Reynolds type projects that he's running.
What's really funny is Burt Reynolds and Marlon Brando had a feud that went on, most of their careers.
Yeah, Marlon Brando had a feud with about 80 fucking people.
Yeah, yeah,
Big
true.
people. He was a
Uh,
dick.
he was, but Burt Reynolds actually lost, chances to be in movies because he looked too much like Marlon Brando, and, so
What?
he's yeah, there were a couple things that he would audition for, and they'd go, "Well, you look too much like Brando. We're gonna go with someone else," and, which is just crazy, and that's why he grew the mustache, um, initially, and then it just became part of his, look,
His stick.
his
Yeah,
shtick.
yeah.
But, uh, the story was years later, Reynolds would meet Brando, and he said to him, "You've always been a hell of an actor or something." And Brando says, "It's a shame I can't say the same." So it was just a constant uh, dig,
How do I
and
say this? Um, Brando was a queen. I mean, I'm
there's some
sorry.
like he's touted as this
Eh,
amazing actor, and I'll give it to him.
no, but you go
But
back and you look at all these people that have talked about, like, they wanted Brando to retire years before he did. In fact, the the role that he got as Vito Corleone, they
yeah,
didn't want him. They wanted him to be gone. They hated Marlon Brando,
wow,
but he just
And
nailed it, and,
who's they? Like, who wanted him to be gone?
the studios didn't want Brando
The
to be
studios, yeah.
Vito Corleone, but the
Oh, no.
problem was that he
Coppola.
nailed it. He was
Yeah, and
perfect.
Coppola totally wanted him.
Yeah,
yeah,
well, no,
Yeah.
Coppola didn't want him at first because in the beginning, Coppola wanted somebody a little bit older than Brando,
Right, yeah, he had to.
but Brando came and he
uh,
did this, "Oh, I
Yeah.
yeah. But like
I
if you broke it down, you got The Godfather and Streetcar, and
Apocalypse Now, he was
Apocalypse Now.
brilliant.
But
Yeah.
Apocalypse Now is a great movie, but it's a fucking mess. It's like
as
they
much
threw
as I
everything.
wanna bitch slap Robert De Niro, have you ever wondered why Godfather 2 is rated higher than 1? Because Brando was barely in it.
I got you.
Like, I think that was the weakest I am not a Brando fan.
Yeah,
I can
Never
tell.
have
Yeah.
been, never will be. But then again, I also fucking hate De Niro.
Yes,
Like,
I was just gonna say, brilliant actors being assholes is not new. De Niro's a
no,
well,
total
my
prick.
my thing is
Yeah.
my thing is with actors being assholes is the fact that, look, I don't care what your political beliefs are, good for you, rock and roll.
mhm,
Yeah,
yeah,
Just
but
shut the fuck
shut
up.
the fuck up.
yeah, yeah,
Shut up.
yeah.
Don't
I
Yeah.
now
Yeah.
De Niro was my favorite actor from like 72 to 87. Um, all those movies are just classics. I'll always have them. But his behavior in the last 20 years, it's like I can't even look at him,
Yeah, well, it's just basically rich people lecturing struggling people.
Yeah.
well, no,
It's
what I
like
don't like is, look,
nobody needs to hear it, you
I
know?
I'm gonna go 2 seconds into politics, and then I'm gonna shut it up.
Alright,
Okay.
I don't
then
give
we'll
a
get back
fuck
on.
who you vote for. I don't care.
Yeah.
If you're a good actor, I fucking love you, rock and roll.
Yeah.
But if you come out and your whole shtick at that point is fuck that person that's your president, fuck you.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
fuck
yeah,
you.
it's
Like,
just
this is
you're
our president, and so
these
move on.
guys don't live in our reality, and they wanna comment. It's
You know
Yeah.
what? You never heard Burt
ugh,
Reynolds come out and talk about
no.
any of that shit.
Yeah,
No, or
no,
Johnny Carson or any of those
I
guys.
love,
Like,
Uh,
Steven
Carson never
Tyler.
came out and was like, "Call fuck Donald Trump." I mean, he just never
Mm,
did it.
yeah.
yeah.
Steven Tyler, once said, he doesn't even tell Steven Tyler who he votes for, and I thought that was funny, um, but, so back to Bert,
But it
he w
shouldn't be a thing.
it shouldn't
Like,
be.
if you are and I'll shut up after this. If you're in the spotlight, right? I don't care if you're Robert De Niro, Sabrina Carpenter, Taylor Swift, it doesn't matter because 'cause they're all in the news right now.
Sure.
Just shut up about what your politics are. If
Yeah, just be a
if
singer,
my
be an actor.
daughters I have teenage daughters, and if they like Sabrina Carpenter or Taylor Swift, shut the fuck up. Like, let them enjoy your music and just go from there. Don't get into politics because if you do that, they hear their parents talk about who they like, and it's just gonna fuck them up. And so,
I
that's
have a
all I'm gonna say.
sneaking I'm gonna say one more thing, then we'll get back on subject, and, I have a sneaking suspicion these people might be getting a little financial incentive to say some of this shit.
Probably.
We'll just
You
leave
don't
it
Yeah,
at
you
that.
don't think it's a little odd that Travis
yeah.
no, just never mind. I'm
Yeah,
just not gonna get
yeah.
into it.
No,
So,
no,
Burt Reynolds,
I'm with you.
So after Longest Yard, he makes a few notable appearances in other movies, but then the next like starring thing that he does, I think really solidifies uh his like from 78 to 82, he was the box office king. Um he could do no wrong. But Smokey and the Bandit would start a whole new thing. Um, Everybody wanted a Trans Am T-shirt, the iron-ons, the cars, the toys. Um, but Smokey and the Bandit was fucking incredible. Great fucking movie.
The plot of that is so interesting too, because speaking of politics, I mean, one of the great things that Jimmy Carter did is deregulated the beer industry. So before he did that, you couldn't have all these microbreweries. It was the regulations were set up to support these monopolies, and Coors had the West Coast.
Budweiser,
Budweiser had a certain territory. Nobody else was
Stroh's.
allowed
Yeah,
in,
yeah,
and so this whole movie is about them smuggling Coors over to the Southeast because they're going to sell it at a premium because nobody can get Coors, which is
yeah,
basically horse piss.
yeah,
It's horse piss with a different brand,
yeah.
and you couldn't go get all this awesome microbrew stuff, so,
Yeah, well, I think you
um
had local breweries all over the country, that were, regional to those areas,
but you couldn't
but you couldn't.
you couldn't walk into your grocery store and have this selection of
Oh,
50
yeah.
different microbreweries because of
Yeah,
how the regulations were set up. So,
yeah,
it's just funny that the plot is a sign of the times where they're smuggling Coors,
yeah.
not even a good beer,
No, not
from
to me anyway.
from the
I don't
West
like
Coast.
Coors.
I know, but it was this exotic import because we couldn't
Mhm.
get it in the South.
Yeah,
That's a West Coast beer. Let's
yeah,
load up the truck and smuggle some Coors.
yeah,
It's just funny.
now Smokey and the Bandit, another movie pairing, um, we it probably late '70s, maybe 1980, we go to somebody's wedding, and the wedding reception is in this massive house, and the guy, all the kids get sent downstairs, there's, like, an air hockey, table, and, the guy says, "Hey, do you guys wanna watch some movies?" And we're there all day, people are drinking, drugging, in the pool, all kinds of shit.
How
They
old were you?
I was, well, 9 or 10.
And people are doing lines of cocaine off the counter and shit?
Not that graphic, but there
Uh,
were rooms that the adults were in and you couldn't go in, you know.
got it. Okay.
Lots of dope, lots of, but
Right.
anyway, he had laser discs and uh
I still have a Laserdisc player.
dude, nice.
Yeah,
Um
I got like 8 of them.
Nice. But the somebody a little bit older than us said, "Oh, Jaws." Now, I was, 10 and I'm like, "Oh my god." But, peer pressure, you're gonna sit in the room. So we watched Jaws and then we watched Smokey and the Bandit. And when you were 10, you weren't going to the movies or, I mean, you saw movies, but it wasn't up to you what you saw. And it was so cool to see these movies in their entirety, without they were both rated R, I believe. Um, but Smoking the Bandit was phenomenal.
The thing about Smoking the Bandit that nobody ever talks about, I mean, they do, but it was overtly racist, and but it was in a good way. Like, you don't remember
I
the
can't wait to hear this.
you know what I'm gonna say,
No, I don't. No,
where
I
the black
really don't.
guy, the black sheriff, "I'm looking for Sheriff Branford. I am Sheriff Branford. I thought you'd be taller."
oh yeah, yeah,
It had
Oh, yeah.
nothing to do with his height, it was about his color. But it
yeah,
was
yeah,
funny, at the time, it was funny. You can't do
yeah.
that anymore.
Well,
No,
there's
And the
a
thing is,
and
it's
this
fucking funny.
the
yeah,
70s, my argument is the 70s was the apex of aside from the archaic beer regulations. Other than that, the 70s was the apex of human civilization because Fred Sanford could make fun of Whitey and Puerto Ricans and whoever he wanted to. Archie
yeah,
Bunker could make fun of whoever.
George Jefferson could make
George
fun of
George
white people.
Jefferson,
You're
yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah,
everybody laughed about it, you know?
yeah.
It
And
wasn't
Fred
this.
Sanford hated the Chinese, and for
Brett,
some
were you
reason,
ever pissed off when George Jefferson or whatever
no,
made fun of white people? No, we love everybody.
yeah,
Well, the one of my favorite, Sanford and Son scenes, he's in a Chinese restaurant, and they bring him and Lamont's introducing him to Chinese food, and they put the plate down in front of him, and he's, like, startled, and he's like, "Y'all got any bug spray? I think something's crawling around in here."
hmm,
I know the
yeah,
scene you're talking about.
yeah.
I
No,
love
and
Sanford and
it was
Son.
funny as Lamont continued to push that Chinese food on his dad because there's several episodes like that, and he's just ripping on the Chinese, and I'm like, wow, this is it was there was no he did not spare any race really in those
But you
No,
could do
and that
that
was the
back
thing,
then.
it
You
was just
can't do that anymore.
yeah.
there are people who do it. There's comedians on YouTube. I can send you some links. It's just, you can't.
I want people to be honest and have fun. Like,
There
make
are
fun of
people
me.
out there
I am
like
not
that.
offended.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make fun of me.
Uh,
I'm
yeah.
fine with it. And that's the way I think it all needs to be. And
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, the
and I think
king
if
of it.
Burt Reynolds was alive right now, and you could ask him, do you think it's cool to make fun of fucking white people? He'd be like, make fun of everybody.
Yeah.
Make
Yeah.
fun of everybody. That's comedy.
Well, the best was Blazing Saddles. But
Yeah,
anyway, so back to Bert. After Smokey and the Bandit, or during Smokey and the Bandit, you had the quintessential good-looking actor, and he's paired up with Sally Fields, who in that scene in the car where she's first appeared in the wedding dress and everything,
Frog.
Frog, yeah, and he's just looking at her, and like they essentially fell in love on screen, you
That
know.
that scene had my favorite line, probably top favorite lines of every movie in history.
Where
What's
I
that?
only take my hat off for two reasons.
Nope. Where
What's
she's
that?
like, "You got a really nice profile." And it's like, "Yeah, I do, don't I? Especially from a side."
That's good shit.
It's one of
Uh,
my favorite lines ever, and she just looks at him, but yeah. Yeah, just I
um,
love that movie. That's
so so then that same year he does Semi Tough, which I believe was one of those football movies again, if I
Yeah, it was a
remember
football
right.
movie. I've seen it.
Yeah,
It's about pro football players and
yeah,
dealing with the injuries they have to deal with and all that
right.
stuff, and
Chris Christopherson in that with him.
women. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, but so then he does The End with Dom DeLuise. It's a hilarious movie.
fucking love that movie.
That's
I
a
gotta watch
great.
that one. I
Yeah,
don't think I've seen that
it's
one.
Dom DeLuise keeps trying to kill himself, and I think it's one of those movies that Cuckoo's Nest just kind of spawned, if you will, just another movie set in that mental health kind of thing. Um, and that same year, Hooper, which was one of my favorites, just a classic movie.
See, I didn't love Hooper. I thought it was okay.
Oh yeah.
It was okay, but
Oh,
I get it.
I liked the just the ailing stuntman thing, and he certainly was friends with a lot of stunt people, in his movies and shit. But I liked Hooper. And then, of course, these leading actors, then you do these romance things starting over in 79. Um, Probably a lot of chicks went to see that.
What about Best
Um,
Friends with Goldie
Best
Hawn
Friends with Goldie Hawn.
or
Yeah.
Paternity?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
actually love that movie, actually. Good
Uh,
movie.
I don't remember what year that was, but then Smokey and the Bandit 2, which I know I've seen it, but I don't remember much about that
It
one.
was god awful. They were trying to
Okay,
smuggle an elephant.
that's why,
Well,
yeah.
that was terrible.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
I
was
Yeah.
watched that
awful.
one. That was really bad. They're trying to smuggle an elephant. It was just this goofy, like, kids movie or
And then they
something.
And
went to
then
the
there was a
3rd Smoking the Bandit,
there's a
and they
third
didn't
one
even
where
have Burt Reynolds in it.
he's like a ghost in one scene or some shit.
Yeah, it was like, what's his name? Who's the guy who did the Eastbound and Down? What's his name?
Jerry Reed.
Yeah, he was the bandit.
Oh,
It was
dear.
just not good, dude. It was
Oh, that
terrible.
sucks. Yeah,
It was awful.
yeah. So then, 81, we're getting to it, Cannonball Run comes out.
One of the
Now,
best movies ever
it's
fucking
so good.
made.
Now, what's funny is if you go on Prime, you can catch Cannonball Run 2, but Cannonball Run 1, you gotta either buy that DVD or pay to see it,
You
it's
gotta
not
pay
a
to
free.
play.
Yeah, you gotta pay to play
Yeah,
on
I
that
own
one.
them both. I look, the first Cannonball Run was amazing,
Yeah.
especially at the end where they're doing the outtakes and you see Dom
Oh,
DeLuise, like, changing, like, he's not it was
yeah.
so fucking funny.
Those are the best. And that's where what I love about Burt Reynolds is I feel like he started making movies with his friends and his stunt people that he liked to work with, and he wasn't making movies necessarily for the audience. He was making movies for himself and his friends.
He was.
You
What
know.
he thought was funny,
Yeah.
and the guy was incredible. I mean, like, here's the deal. I mean, I know him from a different level, okay? So and we'll get to this shortly because 'cause we're gonna get the Shark Machine, shortly.
Yeah, it's
But I
the
know
next.
him from a different level, and the guy was just the kindest guy in the fucking world, but he had the best sense of humor,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that's why he always had the outtakes at the end of those movies,
Oh yeah.
because
Yeah.
he wanted you to see Dom DeLuise and Dean Martin and Sammy
Them
Davis
all
Jr.
laughing. Yeah.
Go, "These bleeds, you want these bleeds?" You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he just
Uh
he just knew that shit was funny, and
And I think Cannonball Run shows you all the people he was hanging out with by 1981. He had everybody in that movie. all the cameos in Cannonball Run. Um, it was epic. Uh,
You're
and
talking
then
about Sammy Davis Jr.
yeah,
and Dean Martin, Farrah
Dean Martin,
Fawcett, Dom DeLuise, Roger Moore,
Roger
Jackie
Moore. Yeah,
Chan. You had them
yeah,
all.
yeah, yeah. Having Jackie Chan in there, that was huge, man.
People forget
That might
about
have
Jackie Chan.
yeah, that might have been his first appearance in an American-made movie.
That's
Uh,
very early on for Jackie Chan's
yeah,
career in the
yeah.
US.
He was in Enter the Dragon, but
Yeah, but I'm saying as a known actor in the
yeah,
US, that's very
yeah,
early on.
But was it
yeah.
all right? And please tell me if I'm wrong, but I think I'm right. Was it Smokey and the Bandit 2 that had him go into Mexico and have to meet with Sinatra? You remember?
That might be Cannonball Run too.
I think it was 2 where they had to go into Mexico and he had to go into that little Mexican place and he had to meet with Sinatra.
Meet the chairman of the board.
Yeah, the chairman of the board, exactly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think that was 2.
That was 2. That was 1984. So after Cannonball Run, I think that was a huge movie, riding on the wave of the popularity of Smokey and the Bandit from 4 years before. Um, Burt Reynolds in Fast Cars, and then he's in Sharky's Machine. And Sharky's Machine, we're all from Atlanta. You put that movie on right now, and you're just taken back to when Marta was running, in the streets, and it opens with Burt just uh, walking through these cold ass streets. And I'm gonna let Royale with cheese take us through his
All
Sharky's
right.
Machine.
So I was kicked out of school for being an asshole and I had a
That's
detention
weird.
slip.
I don't
Wait a
Yeah,
remember
that's
you I don't
weird.
remember you
Yeah.
like that at
You
all.
totally don't see that happening, right?
You were always a Boy Scout back in the day,
But
I felt.
it was 4th grade. I was at Sarah Smith Elementary in Atlanta,
I remember Sarah
and
Smith.
I got a detention slip, which is right here.
Nice.
Nice.
And I my dad was like, he was so mad at me. He had to run me around. And I was like his little, but we had to go to the courthouse because he was at the time he worked at a company called Lawyers Title. So he had to take things to the courthouse all the time. This is before he actually made any money. And so he's like, "Hey, why is there all this traffic? Why can't I go straight to the courthouse?" And I'm like, "Oh, Burt Reynolds is making a movie like right out back here." And he's like, "Weird." I'm like, "Oh, right there on Mitchell and Pryor." And of course, my dad is just like me. God, love him. He's gone now. But he somehow walked us back and he got me to the corner of Mitchell and fucking Pryor. If you go back and watch Sharky's Machine,
Yeah,
you'll
yeah.
hear Burt Reynolds go, "We're on the corner of Mitchell and Pryor." We were right there.
That's fantastic.
And so my dad, they're asking, "What are you doing here?" And he's like, "Wow, I was at the courthouse and my son wanted to meet Burt Reynolds." Well, I know the listeners can't hear this or
Right.
can't see
There he
this,
is.
but that's
Yep.
Me and Bert and the MARTA bus, me and the pregnant lady, and the funny thing, and then the signature on there too.
Yeah.
But he's like, "You like movies?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I love movies." He's like, "Well, you're gonna be in a movie." And he put me on the MARTA bus. He changed the script. It was
Dude,
originally
that's
gonna be just this pregnant lady.
yeah.
Because if you go back and watch the movie, "I'm gonna kill this pregnant bitch."
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He says it, but they added an elementary school kid, which was me. But then I guess the editors didn't love it and they cut it. But
Bastards.
I got a $500 check, and my dad and I got an invite to the premiere of Sharky's Machine at the Fox Theater in Atlanta. So I
That
got
is
to
so
go to the
cool.
Fox Theater, and I saw Bert and Bernie Casey and Henry Silva, which is kind
Wow.
of part of the Henry was he wasn't Frank Sinatra or whatever, but he was part of that whole he wasn't a Rat Pack, but he was part of it.
Yeah. Sure.
Do what?
No, I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah,
That's phenomenal.
and then I was telling Brett this earlier, is Jim Neighbors. Jim Neighbors was there, and Jim Neighbors was like, "Hey, how you doing?" He does talk like that, by the way. And, it was just
Shazam,
such an
Shazam,
amazing
Shazam.
thing for a 5th grader
Yeah.
because yeah, and like I said, I got receipts.
Yeah. No, but
That's
you're seeing
badass.
you're like, "Holy shit, it's Gomer Pyle," you
It was
know?
Gomer
Yeah.
fucking Pyle. Now, there's
Yeah.
another part of this that my mother and my sister freaked out about, and I'm gonna zoom in on it. Hold on. Alright, hold on. You gotta find the necktie. Alright, look behind me and Bert.
Yeah.
You're gonna see a guy in a trench coat and a necktie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alright, well, they were big Days of Our Lives fans, and there is a bad guy on Days of Our Lives named Stefano DiMero,
Okay.
and that was the guy in
That's him.
Sharky's Machine, and they were just like, "I don't care about Bert, you met Stefano DiMero." I'm like, "Who?"
Who?
That's hilarious.
That's great.
Just good
Uh,
shit.
but yeah, Sharky's Machine is so gritty and on the streets, they really capture something, um, you got that Stallone and Billy D. Williams movie, Nighthawks, same kind of vibe, just a gritty, dirty streets kinda movie, and, I
Yeah, but you know
Sharky's
what
Machine is
Bert
one of
did
my
that made that
favorites.
movie so good? He
What's
had,
that?
Doc Severinsen from The Tonight Show
Yeah,
do some of the soundtrack, and it was just you're right, it was gritty, and it was cool, but it was just so different.
yeah,
I go back and I watch it now, and I think about that scene, and there's a great scene where this guy, that guy, you
yeah,
can't see me with him, but he was the drug dealer, and
yeah,
it
yeah,
was the opening scene. I sent it to you, Brett,
yeah,
and he's like and Bert's trying to, like, be like this cool guy who knows how to talk the talk and walk the walk, and the drug
yeah,
dealer looks at him, and is like, "You sound stupid."
mhm,
And it's such a great scene because it was just so great, and it was big for the time,
yeah,
and I look at the movie now, go back and watch it again. If you haven't seen it in a while, go back and watch it because
yeah,
it was way before its time. It was really good.
oh, yeah,
It was also I just remember when it came out, it was like a real tone shift from movies like Cannonball Run and Smokey
oh,
and the
yeah,
Bandit. It's like he was doing some kinda hardcore Paul Schrader type of movie or something, you
uh-huh,
know? I mean, it was cool that he was taking on that subject matter, I thought.
And if you noticed, the movies that he did after that were movies like Heat and Malone and all this kind
Stick,
which were terrible fucking
oh,
movies.
yeah, Stick
But
is
they
a
were
little
also
better,
kind of
but
fun
yeah,
at the same time.
yeah, yeah,
But he stopped doing the comedies. There was no more of the the laugh
mhm,
anymore. It was
yeah,
at
Yeah.
that point he became like this action star, and
yeah,
that was because of Sharky's Machine. But at the same time, go back and watch Malone and those kind
yeah.
of movies. They're awesome.
Yeah, Malone's not bad. I like Stick and Malone a lot. Heat
Stick is
is
good.
rough.
Stick is great.
Yeah. Um, but so after Sharks and Machine, he does Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, Bandit 3, Cannonball Run 2. Um, and then things just kind of die down. Him and Lonnie Anderson were an item. And he does a TV show called Evening Shade. Um, there was something, and I don't have the information here. He had some issue with his jaw, uh, dental, where his jaw was almost dislocated or something, um, and it shaped the way he looked in later years. Um, and then he had to come back with Boogie Nights, a
Which
fantastic movie.
was a role he hated.
Did he really?
Yeah,
He
he
did
thought
not go back and
he
look. He
thought
did not wanna do that role. He
he
despised it.
he he has said that he thought he was slumming. He didn't know who any of these people were. He thought it was a bunch of weirdos making a weird movie about a weird subject,
Yeah.
and then it blew up, and, I do remember him when he was doing the press interviews for that saying, "Well, it's interesting, I'm getting calls from people who wanna be my friend again," Like, he
Yeah.
he
He
he had
hated
not
that role.
he did
He
not
thought
like
it
the
was the
movie.
worst thing he'd ever done in his career.
They
He did
literally
not he didn't
they
like it, but he acknowledged that it gave him a bump. He
Right.
did
right,
wanna
but
yeah,
they literally asked him, "Where have you been?" He said, "I didn't go anywhere. You guys have come back to me," you know, and I thought
yeah,
that was funny. Um,
yeah.
but
Boogie Nights was great though, and he was
yeah.
perfect. He was perfect for that role.
He was
Yeah, and
The
perfect for that
he
role.
played a
cheesy
real
'70s
I think he
charismatic,
played a real scuzzball, so, maybe that's why he didn't like it. He didn't like
And
playing,
then right
uh
after that, what was the movie that he did? He didn't do much after that, but then he did this
mm.
one where he was Burt Reynolds.
Yeah, he plays
Yeah.
himself, and these guys are making a tribute to him, and they get him to show up to this film festival, and they show like Apache and just all these old uh, snippets of his movies, and I thought it was great. I thought it was a really well done um, movie. Um,
What was it called?
being Burt Reynolds,
I
I
think
will have to
it
look.
might be called Being Burt Reynolds.
I think that's what it was, but, I can't remember. What I will do is we will do, Poetry Corner with old Silky now, and, one of you can look up to see what that last movie was. So, are you ready for, number I think this is the 4th poem we've done.
Yeah, you can do the poem. I don't have enough information to look up the movie you're talking about, but go ahead and
I'll
do the
look it
poem.
up. I got
Yeah,
Yeah.
nothing.
like, it's just Bert's filmography. It should be the last movie he was in, but
One of the last 2, yes.
yeah. Alright, so, here we go. This is called Eastbound and Down. From football to high flying road racing, car chasing, and even boat racing, moonshining, whining, and dining with the ladies, McCluskey, Stick, Malone, or Navajo Joe, from bandit to hooper or running from a state trooper, he was one of the best. His laugh was unmistakable. He made us all want a Trans Am, and that flying nun was the one. From Boogie Nights to Sharky's Machine, Old Bert was the snowman on the run from Buford T. Justice. He was a legend, and we'll not likely see another one like him. So give me a Diablo sandwich and a Dr. Pepper and make it fast because I'm in a
And Dr.
goddamn.
Pepper.
There you
What
go.
what what was the last line?
Because I'm in a goddamn hurry.
Okay.
No, it wasn't Burt Reynolds that said it. It was Jackie Gleason. Give me a
Yeah,
damn
no, I know.
sandwich and a Dr. Pepper.
Give me a
Oh, oh,
goddamn.
oh, sheriff. Thank you, nice lady. Nice ass. That's what I remember.
That's good shit, man.
Yeah, man.
So,
So I'm looking it up. It's not giving me. I know the movie the last movie star. Is that right?
the last movie, maybe.
Yeah, apparently his name was Vic Edwards in that. That was the character's name. But that I remember that was a somewhat of as a semi-autobiographical role as an aging movie star. So it was kind of based on him.
Yeah.
All
And
right.
Yeah.
Before I
the last,
I want
yeah.
Craig first.
All right.
Best line from Smoking the Bandit.
Best line from Smokey and the Bandit. I don't know. I'm gonna pass.
All right, we're gonna move to
nothing's coming
Brett.
up.
Brett,
Yeah.
One of my favorite lines is Jackie Gleason saying, "This is an absolute disrespect for the law." Just
disrespect for the law.
his character, it was so good.
Yeah, I mean, and look, it was written for Gleason. All right, I'm gonna go back to Craig before I give mine.
Mhm.
All right,
I don't know, man. I'm drawing a blank.
All
all
right, I'm gonna have to
Snags.
give mine.
Yeah, you
I
give yours.
love it when Jackie Gleason said, "Daddy, my hat blew off." And he goes, "I hope your goddamn head was in it."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He was so good in that role. But the last thing I want to mention before we go
I want to
was
mention one thing too. Oh,
Burt
go ahead.
Burt championed uh giving back, and he had a Burt Reynolds theater in Florida, and one of the people that came out of that was Mary Lou Henner, and there were other actors and actresses that uh benefited from Burt's you know, extending a hand up, um,
He was a
so that was
big proponent for children. He
yeah.
loved children, and I know we live in a world of Epstein now, and you're gonna make it creepy, but don't. The
No.
the guy loved kids, and
Yeah.
he just wanted to make sure, like, and I know this because I saw it.
Yeah,
I
you met
was
him.
there.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
kid, he didn't try to grab my balls. What he
Yeah.
wanted to do was make sure that, like, well, let's do something good. And he was just such a kind man.
Yeah.
And well, I didn't have to get a $500 check or get invited to the Fox Theater for the premiere.
No. No, he didn't even have
I
to
was the kid, and
throw you on the bus. I mean,
yeah,
that's
he just wanted to
epic,
make
dude.
sure, oh, this cool kid,
Yeah.
let's put you on the bus and do all that. I mean, he did everything he could. It was one of the kindest men I've ever met in my entire
Yeah.
life, and I can
Yeah.
say that because I fucking know.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
we also have to mention that he was originally casted in the Bruce Dern role in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but he died.
Oh.
Yeah, he died
Oh.
before
And
that happened.
Yeah, yeah.
and Rick Dalton is based on him, and Cliff Booth is based on Hal Needham, his best friend and stuntman.
I
Okay.
didn't know
So
that, actually.
that's the
That's
case.
fucking
That
great.
is the
One of my
case. Yeah.
favorite scenes is with Brad Pitt and the fake, what's his name?
Leonardo DiCaprio,
No,
The
the,
Bruce Lee,
the
Bruce
Bruce
Lee,
Lee.
yeah, I
Yeah,
love that scene.
that's
yeah.
And they
based
tried to
on.
cut that scene. Bruce Lee tried to have that scene cut.
Or
Well,
his
Bruce Lee's
his
dead.
wife.
Shannon Lee did. Yeah, Shannon
Yeah.
Lee. I think it was his
Yeah.
daughter. His daughter did. And Quentin Tarantino's exact words were, "If you're related to him, I understand you being upset. If you're not, go suck a bag of dicks."
Go
Yeah.
suck a big bag of fucking dicks.
Big bag of
It's
dicks.
like-
All right, I'm out, ladies. I have
All
got
right.
to go. I got shit I gotta do.
Thanks,
Right
man.
on, sir.
It's been
Man,
awesome.
let me think. I was trying to come up with a good Burt Reynolds line, but I couldn't do it that
Oh, it's all
quickly.
right.
That's all right. Doesn't matter.
All right, good night,
We had a
guys.
whole
Hey,
hour's worth.
enjoy.
Thank you,
Thanks.
sir. Always
Good
a
night,
pleasure.
Brett. Good night, Craig.
This was
See ya.
awesome. Thanks.